Hey, it's Frank here with 4D Honeybee, and it is another moment of truth in my beekeeping. I'm here to check on the two hives that I requeened. I requeened them 5 days ago. I requeened them on Thursday. It's now Tuesday of the next week. And I got to see if they've made it, right? The one hive, the Costanza hive, is a double deep. It swarmed on me. I split it. Both splits remade queens. They emerged queens, but none of them stuck around. So I requeened them. What I'm hoping is that we've got two viable queens that have been released. I put them in a cage, and they're laying eggs, right, at the 5-day mark, maybe even some larvae. Worst case scenario, they were killed. A lot of people on YouTube said they figured they were going to be assassinated, murdered, violated, destroyed, inhumanely disposed of. I hope that didn't happen, but we're going to see right now. One thing I would have done differently, though, next time is I would have accompanied the queen release with a new frame of brood, capped brood, so that might have helped trigger the bees into rearing mode as opposed to queenless mode. But the release went really well. I felt that in both cases the queens were very warmly welcomed. Hopefully that's translated into two viable queens, making the hives viable. Got myself a new suit. See this? You might have seen in videos past, I was never happy with the suit with the integrated hood, because the hood was always up against the sides of my face, and I never liked that. So I tried to wear a hat underneath, but there wasn't enough room for it. So, ta-da! This is what I got. I got a hat with an integrated hood. And of course you zip up this part here, and you see you get a good amount of clearance all the way around. And I think this is exactly what I was looking for. I saw that at my local bee supply store, and I picked it up. So, hey, thanks for joining me at 4D Honeybee. Hopefully this moment of truth will prove that we've got two new hives going, and I'll make some people eat their words on 4D Honeybee. Okay, so the first hive I'm checking here is the split hive. So this is the one where I moved it from a 5 nuke split to a 10 nuke box. And I wanted to show you this too. These are the gloves I bought. Look at these from Dancing Bee. They're pretty heavy duty. They also have a little bit of ventilation here in this mesh. I don't know how much they're going to work or how well they're going to work, but I am going to use them when I get into my nasty hive in the next week or so. Alright, so I've got the smoker going. I'm going to try not to smoke them and see how they go. And the moment of truth will happen in just the next couple of minutes. What's happening on the lid? See some burr comb being built up there. Fairly calm bees, which they have been the whole while, and this is why I haven't given up on this colony. They've been quite a survivor colony, surviving a requeening late last year, and then sharing their home over winter with a family of mice. Well, things are looking pretty good in here. They've done a lot of building out, which is great. Looking for the queen on the lid. Now this queen had a red dot on her, so she should be relatively easy to spot. Not on the lid. Okay. Now again, if things work out, the queen should be right in this area there, where the bulk of the bees are. And I am going to smoke these guys, because I've already got some bees coming to check me out. Just a little bit of smoke, just to get them thinking something other than coming at my head. Okay, first frames, as you can imagine, won't be drawn out yet. So I'll pull a couple of these guys and just put them on the side here. And we'll have a quick look for the queen, because there were some bees on it. Not very many, but there were some on there. These bees are a little defensive, you know, they're coming right out at my head, which you would hope wouldn't happen if they had a queen in there. Now, what else I was going to say? It's a nice day. You can see it's pretty sunny. And it's late-ish in the day. It's around 5:30. And it's been a nice sunny day. 28 degrees was our high today, which comes into the low 80s, around 82, 83. And they are starting to draw out comb here, which is great. Now, I'll start looking more closely at these frames, because this is where she could be laying. And then in the next frame or two, I think, maybe in this frame, is where the cage will be. And of course, that will tell us whether or not she was released. Alright, let's have a good look at this frame. This feels pretty heavy. Wow. There's capped, I think that's capped honey, not capped brood. See that there? Now this frame was a frame that I spun, so I got rid of the honey on it, but when you put these back in, there's always enough honey that they can work with it right away. And you can see they've gone to work capping honey here on this frame. Frame is full of nectar that they're capping into honey. Have a look for the queen here. There's nice bits of pollen too. Nothing wrong with this frame. And let's see the queen here. Or here. Okay, let's go on to the next frame. I think this is where we're going to find the queen cage. Now I'm hoping it's kind of stuck into the wax and it won't just fall with me prying it, because I can't see it because it's just too full of bees in there. Yeah, there's the queen cage. And it looks like we have a release. Just hang on, let's look at this frame first off. It's a heavy frame. Wow. What's it got on it? Okay, we're looking at some nectar, lots of honey. Don't see eggs. How about this side? Some extra burr comb on here. Mostly honey and nectar that they're filling in. Now I'm going to pull out the queen cage because it's sitting there. No sign of the queen on here either. Have a slightly better look for her. Nice and calm, which is a good sign. We really should be coming across the queen soon. Okay, let's pull out the queen cage here and see what we got. We have a released queen. Look at that. See? So they chewed through that candy there. Wow, didn't leave a speck on it. So I'll just leave this off to the side. The queen is free. Now where is she, is the question. Is she in here? Is she happy laying eggs? We really should be starting to see sign in these next two frames, I think. Have to look at the side of the box for the queen too. But she's pretty prominently marked. Okay, let's see what we got here. Alright. We have got beautifully capped brood. Amazing. There is a queen in this hive, and she's already capped brood. Now I put her in 5 days ago, so is this her brood? Let's see. Yeah, there's larvae and eggs. So I think we have a viable queen in here making brood. Look at that. Get it out of the shade for you. Isn't that beautiful? Next side, just as lovely. Look at this. Cat brood. Cat brood. And this is not drone brood. Equals queen laying. I also see larvae. And I see eggs. Fantastic. Okay, so this is looking really good, but I still want to see the queen. because no doubt if I don't find the queen, I won't know if it's my queen that I injected into the hive that is alive and viable, or could they actually have made their own queen? I don't think so. The numbers don't support that they had a viable queen. But let's see. This should be a good frame for her as well. Again, lots of beautiful brood. Decent number of drones, larvae, and eggs. And where is the queen? Again, another frame where you can just see the pattern is beautiful. She starts in the center here and lays out in concentric circles with honey on the outside surrounding it. And you can see they're just capping larvae right now in this frame. So looking closely for a queen. And again, it can be that on this frame she's already done all her laying, so she could be on another one. Well, let's see this hive. This next frame is going to be more. And they're starting to want to sting me, alright? Okay guys, relax. Stung you in the exact same spot as I stung you last time. Again, it would be nice to find the queen, but it's not critical. Not critical because I've definitely seen that there's queen sign. And there is Frigno. There is a healthy laying queen. Well, I hope I didn't just drop. Sorry about that, guys. You guys are getting ornery on me and I wasn't ready for it, as usual. Okay. So this is more of a honey frame here. So that's good enough for me. I don't need to see the queen. I don't know for sure that it's the queen that I released that's made all this stuff, but I mean, it kind of seems to make sense, right? Maybe I will see her in the video. Maybe you've seen her and I haven't. But there's definitely a queen in here and definitely laying. So that's what I want. That was the goal. And that's what we've got. So requeen number 1 is considered a success. Now we'll move on to rehive number 2. Okay, so now we're at the Costanza hive. I want to show you this little bee sting here. Hang on. Look. Got stung right here. You can see that right there. And it's right beside where I got stung the last time, right there. It's like they're picking on my finger, this finger for some reason. I don't know why. Alright, so here we go. The Costanza hive. The opposite of everything you're ever going to expect. I put a new queen in here, a pregnant queen, mated queen, 5 days ago. I did so in the other hive. The other hive already has brood, eggs, larvae. This hive, I have no idea. It's a double brood box. There's a lot of bees in here. And they haven't exactly behaved poorly, but I'm going to give them some smoke. And again, main mission here is just to try to find sign of, or actually find, the viable queen. Now this inspection is going to take a little longer because there's 2 brood boxes to deal with, obviously. So I'm going to just try and work a little more diligently and quickly without making things uncomfortable for the bees. So let's see what we got here. Okay, mostly non-drawn out frames is what we have here, which is perfectly fine. We just left them a couple honey frames and a pollen frame for resources. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this top box, and I'm going to get right into the lower boxes, which is where I expect to find her. It's where I released her, and where it's more likely than any place else that she would be laying right now. So again, if I don't find her there, I can always come back to the top box and check her out there. Okay, what do we got here? Good cluster of bees over here. Get out of here. These guys are already wanting to sting. And you will be smoked. Just going to move you down ever so slightly here. There you go, that's a better angle. My smoker's running out of fuel. Alright, so I released this queen right around here, I think. I'm going to start over at the far frame. I have a good look for her. She's marked in red, but again, more important than the actual queen is just sign of a viable queen, right? That's what they say, that's what we all say, but it would be nice to spot the old girl in there, laying away and happy with her newfound family, right? Let's go nice and slow with this frame. There's a lot of bees on it. I do not want to roll them or roll the queen. Okay, so let's see what we got here. The honey frame, which is what you'd expect on the outside. See a queen on there. Over here. There's an emerged queen cell. Actually, that's the queen cell that I destroyed. Go on. Cell that they've made. And again, it just doesn't look right. You know, there's no larvae in there. These are ones that I destroyed the other day. And again, I destroyed them because there was no sign of a laying queen in here, so you don't want them making supersedure cells from drone eggs. Come on, guys, why are you getting so nasty? I think I'm going to go have to get some more smoke on these guys because they are just not letting anything happen here without getting their stingers going. So let's do that. Let's get a little more prepared and I'll be back with you. Okay, so I'm back, a little better prepared now. Let this serve as a lesson to you, right? Whenever you take it for granted that the bees, you won't need to smoke them or you won't need to be protected, those are the times you're going to need it. You basically need it to be ready all the time. I let my smoker go out there, so I wasn't able to knock down these bees, even if I did or didn't want them to. They really seem to be intent on stinging, so I grabbed my fancy schmancy gloves. So, or you could better arrange your time so that you're not seeing these bees at less than ideal times. See, it's getting to be close to evening here, so you can see these bees just aren't happy the way they're coming up. But again, let's make a quick look here for sign of a queen. So there's another queen cell with just larvae in it that was destroyed. See? Again, so either that was a false queen made out of a drone egg, or maybe the new queen was busy at it, destroying it. Anyway, let's move along. For this hive, again, I'll cut this inspection as soon as I see sign of a viable queen. Okay? Smoke them up a bit. And let's just keep it moving. Looking for eggs. Of course, looking for the queen herself. You can really hear them start to get agitated. Now we're going to keep it moving. This is a non-drawn out frame, but we'll have a quick look for the queen anyway. Don't see her on here. So I'm fairly calm right now, even though I know these bees are agitated. I'm protected, and I'm kind of on a mission, right? I'm on a mission for their own good. Nice frame that they're cleaning up for her, hopefully to lay. And still just seeing honey and pollen in these frames. Next couple of frames is where we should see the queen cage and hopefully sign of her laying. But you gotta remember, this is the Costanza hive. It's completely opposite of everything you expect it to do. Let's see what we got here, Costanza. Okay, here. Nice open frame of not much larva, or sorry, not larva, nectar and pollen. See more queen cells down here, some procedure cells. And they don't even have these in them. Yeah, just filled with royal jelly and nothing else. Okay, next couple of frames are what's really going to tell here. I just knocked the queen cage to the floor, so we'll have a look at it in a sec here. But still no signs of a queen here. This would really be a frame where you'd expect to see larva and brood, and there is nothing. Not a thing. Let's get that cage over there. Well, she's released all right. Definitely out of there. But ain't no sign of a queen in here yet. So maybe we're going to go 50-50 with these splits. Maybe I've got another decision to make. It doesn't look like there's going to be a queen in here. Nice heavy frame here. Love it to be heavy with brood. And it ain't. Just nectar. This side, much of the same. Much of nothing. No good sign here, my friends. Costanza does it to me yet again. So what to do? What to do with this hive? We've got another hive laying eggs quite happily. I actually have a second hive here that is queenless too. So do I combine them? Or do I just kind of end this genetic rat race that is my Costanza debacle? I don't know. There's no clear answer to it. So I'm going to put this hive back together, determine that this split was a failure, or this requeening was a failure. The split was also a failure for the record. And take a little bit to decide what exactly I'm going to do with this hive. You can see there's a ton of bees in here, right? So it's just a shame that I cannot get a queen to organize them. Right? Making lots of honey. I've already taken 22 pounds of honey from this hive. But it's not really honey that I'm after in this case. In this case I need a hive that's strong and viable for the winter. And it ain't that. Not even close. So thanks for joining me. I'll button it back up. You know what? I will take a look in that top brood box as well, but I don't expect I'll find anything decent there. But I will still look at it. If I find anything interesting, I will let you know. So thanks for joining me on 4D Honeybee.